If you are over 60 and you walk every day, you are already doing something very good for your body. Walking supports your heart, helps your mood, and keeps you moving. It is often recommended by health professionals for a reason. But here is something most people are not told clearly. Walking alone is not enough to maintain the kind of strength and stability your body needs as you get older. This is not meant to discourage you. In fact, it should do the opposite. It should help you understand what is missing so you can protect your body more effectively. Walking mostly trains your body to move forward in a steady and predictable way. Real life is not like that. In daily situations, you turn, step sideways, lower yourself down, or react quickly when you lose balance. These moments require different types of strength that walking does not fully develop. Because of this, many people feel confident during their walks, but notice difficulty in simple tasks like getting up from a chair or stepping down safely. That difference creates a quiet gap between feeling active and actually being prepared. The good news is this gap can be improved. By recognizing it, you can begin to build a more complete routine that supports not just movement, but true stability and long-term independence. Now that you understand why walking alone can leave an important gap, the next step is to look at how your body actually moves in real life, because this is where the difference becomes clear. Walking is steady, repetitive, and mostly forward. But your daily life is not steady, and it is rarely predictable. Think about a normal day. You turn in the kitchen to reach something behind you. You step sideways to avoid an object on the floor. You get up from a low chair. You step down from a curb or adjust your balance if you trip. These are not extreme situations. They are simple, everyday movements, but they require coordination, control, and strength in different directions. Your body has to respond quickly. It has to stabilize itself while moving, not just after the movement is finished. That means your muscles and your nervous system are working together in ways that walking does not fully train. Walking keeps you moving, but it does not challenge your body to adapt. And over time, that matters. This is where many people begin to notice small changes. They feel fine during their walks, but hesitate when turning or feel unsteady when stepping down. These are early signs that the body is not fully prepared for real-world movement. Understanding this is not about fear. It is about awareness. When you begin to see how different real-life movement is, you can start to train in a way that truly supports your balance, your confidence, and your independence. As you begin to look more closely at how your body responds in everyday situations, another important piece comes into focus. It is not just about movement patterns. It is also about what is happening inside your muscles over time. As we age, the body naturally goes through a gradual process of muscle loss. This process begins earlier than most people expect and becomes more noticeable after 60. But there is an even more important detail that often goes unnoticed. The body does not lose all types of strength at the same rate. Muscle endurance, the ability to keep going for longer periods, tends to stay relatively stable. Muscle power, the ability to produce quick and controlled force, declines much faster. This difference explains something many people experience but do not fully understand. You may still be able to walk a long distance without feeling tired, but at the same time, you may find it harder to stand up quickly, catch yourself if you lose balance, or step down with control. These are not signs of failure. They are signs that a specific type of strength is no longer being trained. Power is what allows your body to react. It helps you stay steady in unexpected moments. When it begins to decline, the body may still feel capable in familiar situations, but less prepared when something changes suddenly. The good news is that this type of strength can be improved. With the right kind of movement, your body can relearn how to respond, stabilize, and move with confidence again. As you begin to understand how muscle power changes with age, The next insight becomes even more important. It is not just that strength declines. It is when and where that decline shows up in your daily life. Most people assume that falls happen while walking, but in reality, they rarely occur during steady movement on flat ground. They happen in the moments in between, when you turn quickly, when you step sideways, when you rise from a chair, when you walk down a stair or step off a curb. These are the moments that challenge your balance the most. These transitions require your body to coordinate quickly and precisely. Your hips must stabilize. Your legs must control your weight. Your body must adjust in real time. If these abilities are not trained regularly, they begin to weaken quietly. You may not notice it at first, but over time, small moments of instability can start to appear. This changes how we should think about prevention. It is not only about walking more. It is about preparing your body for the exact situations where balance is tested. When you shift your focus in this way, something powerful happens. You become more aware of the movements that matter most. That awareness is the first step. It helps you recognize where you feel less steady and where your body needs more support. And once you see that clearly, you can begin to train with purpose, improving your stability, your confidence, and your ability to move safely through everyday life. Now that you can see where most instability actually happens, the next step is to understand what your body may be missing. Because the issue is not a lack of effort, it is a lack of specific training in the areas that matter most for real-life movement. There are three key qualities that often go undertrained. The first is lateral stability, your ability to stay balanced when moving side to side. This is what helps you adjust your position, avoid obstacles, and stay steady when your direction changes. The second is standing strength, the ability to rise from a seated position without relying on your hands or momentum. This reflects how much usable strength your lower body truly has. The third is controlled descent, your ability to lower yourself slowly and safely, especially when going down stairs or stepping off a curb. These may sound simple, but they are essential for maintaining independence. When one of these areas weakens, daily movements begin to feel less secure. When all three are strong, your body moves with confidence and control. Walking does not fully train these qualities. That is why the gap we talked about earlier begins to appear. The good news is, you do not need complicated routines to fix this. You simply need to focus on movements that train these exact patterns. When you do that, your training becomes more purposeful. Instead of just staying active, you begin to build the kind of strength that supports real life, protects your balance, and helps you move with greater confidence every day. Now that you understand the three qualities your body needs, the next step is to begin training them in a simple and practical way. We start with the first one, lateral stability, because this is often the most overlooked and one of the most important for real-world balance. There is a small muscle on the outside of your hip that plays a big role in how steady you feel. It helps keep your pelvis level every time you stand on one leg, which happens with every step you take. When this muscle becomes weak, your body may begin to shift slightly from side to side. At first, it is subtle, but over time, it can make turning or changing direction feel less controlled. This is where lateral step-ups come in. This movement trains your body to move and stabilize side to side, something walking does not fully challenge. To begin, stand next to a low and stable step. Place one foot on the step and stand tall. Press through your heel and gently lift your body up, bringing the other foot to meet it. Pause briefly at the top, then lower yourself back down with control. The goal is not speed. The goal is control and alignment. Keep your movements slow and steady. If needed, you can lightly hold on to a stable surface for support. With consistent practice, this simple movement helps your body relearn how to stay balanced during direction changes. Over time, turning feels smoother, standing feels steadier, and your confidence begins to grow naturally. Now that you have started to build better stability from side to side, we move to the next piece that directly supports your independence. This is the ability to stand up with control. It may seem simple, but it is one of the most important movements your body performs every single day. Standing up from a chair reflects how strong and coordinated your lower body really is. It involves your thighs, your hips, and your ability to control your body weight in a smooth and steady way. When this movement becomes difficult, daily life quietly becomes more challenging. You may begin to rely on your hands, push off your knees, or use momentum to get up. Over time, these habits can reinforce weakness instead of improving it. This is why practicing the sit-to-stand movement with intention is so powerful. Start by sitting on a firm and stable chair. Place your feet flat on the floor and position them about shoulder width apart. Lean slightly forward from your hips, then press through your heels and stand up slowly. At the top, pause for a moment, then lower yourself back down with control instead of dropping into the chair. Each repetition is not just an exercise, it is a signal to your body. It tells your muscles and your nervous system that you are still capable. With consistent practice, this movement helps rebuild strength, improve coordination, and restore confidence in your ability to move independently every day. Now that you have begun to rebuild strength and confidence in standing, we come to the final and most important piece. This is the ability to lower your body with control. Because in daily life, going down is often more challenging than going up. Many people feel strong enough to climb stairs, but hesitate when coming down. This is where control becomes essential. When you step down from a curb or walk downstairs, your muscles need to slow your body safely. This ability is often called eccentric strength, and it tends to decline with age if it is not trained. When that happens, the body may drop instead of lowering smoothly. This can place extra stress on the joints and reduce your ability to stay balanced. The step-down exercise helps retrain this exact pattern. Start by standing on a low and stable step. Keep your posture tall and your focus forward. Shift your weight onto one leg, then slowly lower the opposite foot toward the ground. Take your time. The goal is to control the movement, not rush it. Lightly touch the floor, then press through the standing leg to return to the starting position. This movement may feel simple, but it is deeply protective. It teaches your body how to absorb force and stay steady under pressure. With practice, your reactions become more controlled, your movements become smoother, and your confidence grows in situations that once felt uncertain. Now that you have seen how each movement supports your balance and strength, the way you practice becomes just as important as what you practice. Because the goal is not to push harder. The goal is to move smarter and more consistently over time. Safety always comes first. Use stable surfaces, move in a controlled way, keep your posture aligned and your movements steady. There's no benefit in rushing through repetitions or using momentum to finish a movement. In fact, doing so can reduce the effectiveness of the exercise and increase the risk of discomfort or strain. Slow and controlled movement is what builds real strength and coordination. It is also important to meet your body where it is today. If a movement feels too challenging, you can make small adjustments. You can hold on to a stable support, reduce the height of a step, or limit the range of motion. These changes are not setbacks. They are smart ways to keep progressing safely. If you have any existing health concerns or recent medical procedures, it is always a good idea to speak with a qualified healthcare professional before starting a new routine. This helps ensure that your approach is appropriate for your individual needs. Consistency is what makes the difference. A few minutes of focused practice each day can be more effective than occasional intense effort. Over time, these small actions build strength, improve control, and support your ability to move with confidence and independence. As we bring everything together, one message becomes clear. The goal is not to train harder. The goal is to live stronger. After 60, strength is no longer about performance. It is about independence. It is about being able to move through your day without hesitation, without fear, and with confidence in your body. Walking will always have value. It supports your heart and keeps you active. But now you understand that it is only one piece of the picture. Real strength comes from preparing your body for real life. It comes from being able to step sideways with control, stand up with ease, and lower yourself safely when needed. These are the movements that protect your freedom. It is easy to believe that doing more is the answer. More steps, more effort, more intensity. But often, the real progress comes from doing the right things consistently. Slow, controlled movements, focused practice, small improvements repeated over time. That is what builds lasting strength. You do not need complicated routines or extreme workouts. You need intention. You need awareness. You need a simple approach that you can return to every day. Because in the end, this is not just about exercise. It is about how you live. Every controlled movement is a step toward greater confidence. Every small effort is a step toward independence. And no matter where you are starting, your body can still adapt, improve, and become stronger with time.